Our beloved Sultan has no doubt carried. Oh God. Okay. Our beloved Sultan has no doubt carried on such a noble legacy of the household of the Holy Messenger, and we and our children must too reflect upon his sacrifices to save the future of Islam. Oh yeah, Allah.
Okay. Oh my God.
I want one person. You could be anonymous. Anybody, send an email to R2F, text me, whatever. One person, please tell me what he sacrificed, what him and his family has sacrificed, what they actually gave up, and anything for the Jamaat, for Islam, for anything. Please, I want one sacrifice. That's it.
Maybe
Okay, so maybe they don't know. Let's try to make it clear like what a sacrifice is. So let's use the Sahaba, because I as you were reading this, I'm looking for like, usually after they make a statement, and this is one of the mark of scholars and shuyukh. Usually they make a statement and then they follow it with Quran or Sunnah or something like that, like to back up what they're saying. As our Murshid has taught us, the first 10 days of Muharram are a very sad time for us. Call out Rasulullah, and then like, okay, Allah said no. It's just you go rambling to something else. But let's look at this. Let's try to make sure that we know what a sacrifice is. So Khadija radiallahu anha was a very wealthy woman. Okay, she was very wealthy, and she was a noble woman. She was a high class, high born, you know what I mean? I mean, like the cream of the crop of the society. I mean, like, she was somebody, okay? She wound up actually boycotted outside of the, of her comfort zone with her husband, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, supporting him, and hungry and starving and not being able to have adequate food or housing or any of that stuff. This is a sacrifice, because she had everything, and then she went to the point where actually they say even the conditions of the boycott that they were going through at the time was what contributed to her passing away. That is a sacrifice. Okay. So now we know that's a sacrifice. You had the opportunity and you gave it up for, someone else or for a cause or something like that. So from some accounts, even after Gilani's father passed away, he passed down the leadership of the shrine, the family shrine, not to him, his son, but to his cousin. Okay, so we know that. So he didn't sacrifice that. We don't need to get into the shrine and whether shirk and all that. That's not, but he didn't sacrifice the leadership over that. He didn't have it. It wasn't given to him, it was given to someone else. And there's even some accounts that he actually was living in the equivalent of a trailer park in a slum. Before he left and went, to the UK and started riding around, he was living in a slum. And so he went from living in a slum until he started extorting you and spiritually blackmailing and all these things. And he died what? That his family members are left fighting over, what they think is some sort of massive inheritance, at least $5 million.
$5 million, yeah.
So he sacrificed what? He didn't get enough food, so he became so skinny and frail, and his body was just. I mean, what did he sacrifice? He didn't have. He was so poor he wasn't even able to get a wife, or whatever. He wasn't able to support his family. Many took many of your women away and married them. What did he sacrifice? Did
he sacrifice his time? He stayed in his house all day, every day, doing whatever he wanted. He wasn't traveling over here to visit y'all and hear your needs, and none of that.
He didn't speak on the phone to y'all. Like, you have to speak to him through the administration if they wanted you to, like.
So listen, I would even like someone to tell me. Usually when people say, sometimes your parents will say, listen, we sacrificed a lot for you guys. You can't mess this up. Or we have put a lot of effort into your education or to keeping you safe or whatever the case may be. So don't mess up. And you can see the sacrifice. Sometimes your parents will tell you. Your mother will say, look at me now. I was young and fit and strong, and I had all you kids, and so I sacrificed a lot. They can point to something, but every time someone says he sacrificed a lot, no one can ever say what he actually sacrificed. I challenge anyone. What did he actually sacrifice? They will say he sacrificed everything for us. Name one thing.
Give us any examples.
He invested in y'all. That's all y'all were. He invested a couple of years over in America, hanging out with y'all. And that was his investment. And he had a big return on his investment. And I like how Mubarak brought up Khadija, which is, as we look for examples of female leadership in Islam, which the mother of the believers are going to be the top examples of female leadership in Islam, who actually sacrificed all of her wealth for Islam. And I know we're not through the letter, the memo yet, and you have Imama or Imam Noor.
He definitely doing that.
Who has $5 million and is still trying to extort people for money for this silly school that they're trying to do.
All right,
right. So compare these two, right? If you want a female imam, whatever, right? At least have a female imam that's like, okay, like she's pious, she's sacrificing for us, she's there for us. You have a lady sitting and at least $5 million cash, and she's saying, "Give me more money for this fake."
How $5 million in your pocket and you're setting up a GoFundMe for 100K? You already got it in your purse. Check your purse, lady. She got the money. She's playing y'all over and over again, making y'all pay fees for this, that, and another. Y'all bankrolling her. She already got the money. She got the money. But you know what? She's like, well, I mean, and this is one thing. A lot of times people who they don't earn their money or they don't understand how money is made. They never had to work for it. They think it's just always going to come. So, or they're just so greedy. They don't actually know. They don't have a skill to ever get that money. They didn't acquire it in a way in which they did it themselves. So they're so afraid of it going away that they're going to be so stingy and tight-fisted, and they're basically making you pay for every little thing, setting up GoFundMes every time you turn around, and she's getting you to pay for something that she already got the money to pay for. Where do you think she's getting the money to take these trips? Where is she getting it from? She's not employed. Yeah. Y'all didn't know that? She ain't pulling a W-2 from nowhere. I mean, she a long way.
I'm pretty sure it's something she learned from Mubarak Gilani.
Yep. Because
he never paid for anything. He probably sat her one day, down when he was like teaching her, like, it's the lessons you would teach your teenage daughter. It's not this is teenage wife, life lessons. Never ever pay for anything. Have these people pay for everything. And you save the money. Save the money in the bank. I will put it in your name. That was one of his life lessons. Don't ever pay for anything.